Hello, my name is Miss Lilia and I teach art classes to kids. Today we are using regular washable markers for printing. How cool is that? Before we get started, I would like to talk about different ideas, different choices, how the project will go. So here's one of my examples, and you see black eye in the center of this painting. For the black lines, we will be using permanent marker, and instead of an eye, you can draw anything you want. But even if you continue using an eye idea, you can draw different things inside of the eye, like landscape or seascape. It could be anything. Also, for the colors, we are using washable markers, and you can control how you place those colors. They can be placed in a horizontal way, as here, or they can be a random, any way you want. You can use your favorite markers. You can use specific colors, like for example warm colors or cool colors. So the choice is yours to make your print as unique as you want it to be. I was inspired by Rene Magritte, which is surrealist artist who combined reality and fantasy in his artwork, and that's what made him famous. After that, a lot of artists used the idea of a big eye for their artwork. So that's what I'm gonna do today, but you can definitely draw anything that you like. Let's get started. For today's project, you will need a sheet of watercolor paper, but any paper will work, an old CD, washable markers, a black permanent marker. If you don't have a black permanent marker, you can use a black crayon or oil pastel, a spray bottle filled with water, and a large piece of foil. Let's start with drawing using your black permanent marker. I'm tracing an old CD to get a circle. You can trace anything you have at home. And I will be drawing an eye, a large eye. This idea was inspired by an artist, Rene Magritte. That's what made him famous, and I really like how he combines fantasy and dreams into real life, realistic objects. So he would make a large pupil just in the center of an iris, and that's exactly what I'm doing. This black small circle is called a pupil, and I have a nice black pupil. And now I'm going to add some eyelashes. See, I'm lifting my marker at the end to get thinner lines, and I'm going to make them a little bit thicker. Everybody likes thicker eyelashes. Now let's make eyelids. and you can draw anything you want inside of this big circle, and this big circle is called an iris. You can draw anything you like. I will make a spider web because it's so easy to draw and it looks pretty cool. But you can make even abstract design. It doesn't have to be anything realistic, just like Renee Magritte did. Maybe make it a little bit thicker, and I would say it's done. Let's move to the next part. Before you move the paper, mark your paper, the size of your paper, with a permanent marker on the foil like this, so you know how big area you need to color for printing. And because it's permanent marker, it will not get mixed with water, neither on your drawing paper nor on this sheet of foil. And now let's start adding washable markers. My favorite way of doing it, just adding patches of color everywhere where my paper will be placed. You can actually use strips, you can do circles, make all those patches of color in any way you want. I tried different ways and I have decided that's my favorite is actually doing these random patches, but it's really fun to experiment which way you like the best. Everybody's different and you might have different opinion, so try, see what happens. This project is also a resist project because we are using permanent markers for drawing and washable markers for making paint. So when we add water to our washable markers, and then that paint will get onto the paper with your drawing, the black drawing will not blur. The black drawing will stay the same because permanent markers have alcohol ink, and alcohol does not mix with water. So we actually are getting two techniques in one. Resist technique and printing technique. Let's add some yellow. We want yellow. Something nice and bright. And I need to go over my marks to make sure the whole paper will get paint, not just the center. I know it's so easy to think just about the center, but it will go everywhere, and I need to make sure I have some colors there. Want to add all the colors I have, orange, but you can choose just your favorite colors. You can use just warm colors or cool colors or primary colors. The decision is yours. Let's double check all the corners and all the edges, see what I'm missing. think I'm good. All right, and now it's a fun part. Let's spray it with water. When you spray, you want to hold your bottle above the foil and use mist setting, and make sure you add water to the whole sheet of foil, not just for the center. So let's start with corners. And let's do 1 pump for the center. You can see how you're getting paint, how the colors are moving now. Your drawing paper, use the drawing part and put it onto the foil and press down. Rub with your hands and especially double check edges and corners. With printing, it's the biggest concern to get your edges and get your corners, because usually people rub in the middle of the paper but they forget the corners. So you want to get your outline, in this case for the whole paper. All right, and it's time to lift it. Wow. I hope you had fun today. We will be doing more videos on how to use washable markers for almost anything.